Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is No Dust here, and we are going to continue our no epic, legendary, or adventure card rogue ladder climb. Let's get straight back into things. So, as some of you astute viewers might have noticed, that I'm recording at a slightly different time than usual. Usually, I record early in the morning, but today we are playing at around 7:20 in the evening. Now, the reason for that is, well, I have a day job, but the weather these days is pretty insane. So I have decided to take some time off, do some things during the day, and then line up the recording at night. So let's see how we go. I think that the weapon up is fine here, and I will leave the Buccaneer. I will leave the Buccaneer up for the Annoyatron to trade into. And I also do wonder, actually, how the difference in time will affect our opponents. Whether we will run into different types of opponents and so on and so forth. So let's see how we go. Anyway, so this is a pretty straightforward turn. Earthen Ring, not giving us the full value, but that's fine. You know, not too fast, getting most of the heal off. Okay. Yeah, so we are sitting at rank 13, as you can see here, with actually a load of resources. I actually have managed to pick up a ton of stuff, and I think it's fine to. Essentially, what I'm doing here, is baiting out the consecrate. I want you to consecrate on turn 4, waste your entire turn so that I can develop Crusader weapon up. It's not the worst consecrate, but consecration is just a really slow card. So let's see. Either that, or my opponent could be whipping out his True Silver Champion, or even Muster here is fine. Also, he's going to go Juggle and Dude, hoping for the 1 in 3. Let's see how we go. Ooh, no such luck there. That's not too bad for me. Okay. I think I'd play as planned, developing the Scarlet Crusader and weaponing up for the second time. And next turn we have a fairly neat Argus weapon up, or possibly an Assassinate. We have a lot of options now. We're going into the mid game against this Pally. It appears to be some sort of mid-range Pally. No secrets, so I'm probably ruling out the Dr. 6, the Mysterious Challenger. But mid-range Pally with things like Dr. Boom, Tyrion, and maybe some dragons to finish off. Hard to say. Okay, that's fine. The Ooze only getting, and actually that makes this turn even more straightforward, because I gain the full value of the weapon up, as opposed to swinging once and weaponing up again. So the Ooze there, a bit of a desperation Ooze, I think. The Wicked Knife is never really the target you want to hit as an oozing player. You really usually want to wait till it's actually an equipped weapon, say like a Perditions or something along those lines. Okay, I'm tempted to hit, or do I just assassinate? How's my turn look if I hit? This is a little strange. I'm a little. It's going to take a bit of thinking, or maybe I just assassinate. But assassinate leaves me just to weapon up, and that's not great. Or maybe I just go past. I think, actually, that that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go past. Again, sort of following the logic of Mad Scientist. Force your opponent to trigger their minions, the death rattle on their minions. A large portion of Sylvanas' value comes from the death rattle. And if you force them to do the trade instead, say for example, I did the trade previously and I couldn't deal with what was stolen, then my opponent would have been able to use the stolen minion to attack on this turn. But leaving the Sylvanas up, okay, so it's a Reno deck, that's fine, it's not too bad. We're looking okay. We have the sprint to refill our hand, although it's never great to be Reno'd, honestly. But yeah, not too bad here, because Sylvanas can't impale herself on our things. I think what I will do is join or die.
Join or die.
Yeah, I think I'll do this.
Or die.
Do I leave the Sylvanas up for another turn? That could very well be a viable play. Yeah, I think I will leave the Sylvanas up for another turn. We go past. It may be a little greedy, but I don't actually mind if Sylvanas steals any of these. Like, these are smaller minions. They're not super... It's not going to be a huge tempo swing. But forcing the Sylvanas to hit things twice whilst I get some damage down after the Reno, I think is going to be fairly good. So actually, I might start recording. Game 1 was versus Reno Pally. It's like a control... That's actually the best target for me. I can swing. The Assassinate is going to do a ton of work for us. Like, I will be copying some hits of the Light's Justice, but that's fine. You know, I have more tempo on the board. I'm able to do more damage to the face. I think he may need to use the why am I calling it Light's Justice? Light's Justice is the 1/4 that you get with Muster. He may need to use the Ashbringer defensively. I mean, to clear minions, which allows me to deal more damage to his face because the minions, etc., so on and so forth. But the Assassinate is actually excellent on Tyrion. Obviously, Sap is possibly a little even better because of the tempo, but Assassinate on Tyrion is fine, you know. Yeah, so he's going to play defensively, and that's not too bad for me since I can keep going face with whatever things that I have. Are you going to? You can't muster now. That's the thing. So if you equip a Ashbringer, you sort of can't muster. Okay, Alderman, that's interesting. Interesting. Auto Barber. Does Auto Barber change anything for me? Not right now. I don't really want to play the Senjin. Because the Ashbringer deals with it so cleanly. I think I may actually want to sprint here. Yeah. Okay. That's not bad. The Eviscerate is actually going to be quite useful. So now I can hit, clear, Eviscerate, leaving the anti-heal bot up, and it presents a threat. I mean, a 3/1 is just as costly for a Paladin to deal with because Paladins can't ping. They're not druids, they're not rogues, they're not. There we go. See, that's going to cost him a Hammer of Wrath. That's actually excellent. Using a Hammer of Wrath, overkilling the heal bot by 2. I'll take that any day of the week. And actually, if I were him, I think I might have held the Ashbringer charge. I think I might have held the Ashbringer charge. Because I don't know how much value you can get. Anyway, what is my line of play here? I think this is fine. Hit. Big fella and someone who will... Yeah. So the easiest clear on this board is Consecrate, hit, Shadow Pan, but that's going to cost him 6 health. That's a little dangerous. The other clear would be to Equality and run the Silver Hand, but Equality on 2/1s isn't the best idea. But you know, sometimes if you're in a tough situation, that may be what it requires. I'm sensing a Justicar in this hand. It's like a heavy control pally with Justicar, I feel. Are you going to develop something else? Because these dudes don't challenge my board. My 2 guys run in very neatly. If you develop something else, okay, sure. So you are going to Consecrate and hit my Panda. Oh no, you're not. Okay, you're going for it. Okay, interesting. Now the Ashbringer charges are down though, so that's going to be interesting. I have to do this, and can I use my health as a resource? I think I'm going to have to use my health as a resource. I don't think I can win if I don't. Now he has a hammer. He had 1 hammer, but given that it's a Reno, I'm going to count on there not being a second hammer. There may be... What else can a Pally do to burst me? Holy Wrath, but it's a little... how to say? A little inconsistent. So I'm going to play aggressively. I have to. I'm not going to win unless I clear that thing. So what do I lose to? Silence, hit, some sort of burst. Kings, like silence, kings. There's a number of things that I'll lose to, but this board is really scary. And if I manage to pick up something like an oil and the oil lands correctly, we can win the game. So let's see how we go. Even like a fan into an oil. Okay, yeah, this is a... Enter, okay. Interesting. Oh, we're done. Well played. Yeah, it's. I've been thinking about Reno / Fatigue Pally running things like Justicar because well, you can. Pally has just so many powerful cards, and the hero power generates so much value. Anyway, yeah, it was a good game. I'm not salty losing that game. That was a well played game from him. Got a little bit unlucky here and there on my side, but these things happen. Let's go next game. Okay, versus Warrior. Yep, I'll just mulligan as usual. Yes, I was just thinking what I could have done that previous game. I think I was probably a little too greedy with the MCT. I should have just developed the MCT, and I think that a lot of that game turned on the Sylvanas, and obviously the Reno. Not the Reno. Yeah, the Reno and the Ashbringer. But I think the Sylvanas. If I had played the Sylvanas against the Sylvanas a little differently, perhaps I would have won. It's really hard to say because it was such a close game. Like my board was full. That Enter the Colosseum did a ton of work actually. That was what won in the game because the Enter the Colosseum managed to clear my my Senjin. So interesting times. Okay, I'm not clearing that. Do I play and... I think I coin out... If I coin out the MCT, what am I doing next? I'm going to play the Scarlet Crusader. Okay, sure. The reason I'm not coining out the Scarlet Crusader is that warriors have many AoE, like 1 damage AoE things. Like he could have hit the Crusader and then done a Whirlwind to give him a very neat board clear, and I would have been quite far behind. This is more sturdy against Whirlwind. Or something like Cruel Task, hit the Crusader, Cruel Task. Okay, that's fine for me as well. I can eviscerate very easy. Although I may actually choose to just swing and tank the damage. Yeah, I may actually just choose to take 4 damage. Although... this is better because it develops... Yeah, it develops something. Like, I waste the spare part, but that's fine, you know. Frothing is quite scary. Now he has quite a fair amount of armor. I don't expect him to be doing a shield slam here, but it's not out of the question. Or something like a fire Winaxe. Winaxe can be, I don't know. Anyway, what sort of deck are we looking at? I think this is a combo deck, possibly even with patrons. Like if you're running Berserker, you know, I think so. Okay, this is quite weak again. What do I do, actually? Do I just develop the Argus? Because I don't want to feed this. I don't want to feed this into the Death Spite. But if I feed the Argus can be fed into the Death Spite. Or I could just feed this, actually.
So many options.
Yeah, let's do this. And I will swing at the Armorsmith, such that if he decides to clear my Valiant with his Death Spite, his Armorsmith will also die. Yeah, I think this is the correct play, since it gives me another charge. To do things with. It gives me the flexibility of another charge. Whereas the Argus, same sort of body, same sort of. It's just Death Spite bait. But I wouldn't have been able to weapon up. So yeah, I think this is the correct line of play here. I could have dropped the Scarlet Crusader, but very weak to Death Spite. That has only 1 charge left. Okay, what are you looking for? This is a Finley. I wonder if you're running a Finley. Is this also Reno? I wonder, why would a warrior run Finley? Because armor is such a useful resource. You're gonna start tapping, and you're gonna destroy your armor. Are you serious? Okay, interesting. Do I Argus? Because I was thinking of the Scarlet Crusader. I think I Argus. Yeah.
Here we go.
I think I Argus. The reason I Argus is if I had played Scarlet Crusader Weapon Up, this thing would have been on 1 health. The Argus buffed it to 2 health, thereby protecting the defender itself. So he's basically obligated to trade into the Argus. Interesting. So it is a patron deck. You're gonna make a ton of patrons. I don't know if I have any answers for that, but we'll see. So there's only 4 patrons. I can swing at that one. Swing at that one. I'm gonna have to take the damage, yeah. And actually the Senjin is fine. Weak to execute, but he doesn't have a weapon anymore, so we're looking for something like a Cruel Task Execute or Whirlwind Execute. Yeah, so this is like a patron warrior. I don't know why you would put Finley in the patron deck. I guess Finley in patron you could equip get mage hero power, and that would work okay. Or maybe priest hero power would work okay. So you're gonna hit execute, or just hit. I wonder. There must be an execute in there. Yep. So he's gonna protect his patrons. That's fine. Very understandable. I got lucky there because he didn't have any whirlwind effects in hand, so that's actually quite good news for us. I will eviscerate one of the patrons just to reduce the shenanigans that can happen. And at this point, the Scarlet Crusader is okay, since I don't think he has any whirlwind effects in hand, although he could easily tap into them. So I wonder. I think that this game we're just going to run out of health. Yeah, it's boom as well. Yeah, I think we're just going to run out of health. What turned it there? I think I started a little too slowly. What else? What else could have turned it there? Don't know. Well, let's sprint just to see what we find. I really do think I started a little slowly there.
Join or die. Here we go.
Yeah, patron with Finley. Interesting deck. But you know what? You know, this sort of coming against some tough opponents is totally what I expected, because since we win streaked, we got such a lucky win streak to get up to rank 13. You know, I'm not surprised at all. Okay, let's go next game. I think really in that previous game, I had no answer to the 4 patrons. So you remember that turn where he did patron, inner rage, and then proc the death spite. That was a pretty big swing turn, and this deck doesn't really, unless I have Deadly Flurry, which I didn't have. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to do this. Yeah, I can't feed the Buccaneer into that. Although this is fine, because if he decides to overload it, my Valiant does fine against it. Okay, that's fine. Is this worth a sap? 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 He's on 1 mana. Is this worth a sap? If I sap at this turn and he just plays... If I sap at this turn, he can't do anything this turn anyway. I think it is worth a sap, because then turn 3 I can Buccaneer weapon up. Yeah, let's do this. I'm just going to go. So this is game 3. We are facing a... game 3 versus Overload Shaman. A lot of interesting decks, you know. Oh, okay, no, so it was turn 2 and then turn 3. Okay, that's fine, because it bought us time to do this. So that was actually really lucky. The sap bought us time to combo out and eviscerate, and he's actually slowed himself down quite a lot. He slowed down his turn 3, he slowed down his turn 4. May need to use a spell here. Okay. Weapon Deadly? Yeah, let's do it. This is fine. I can clear the remainder of the wolf using the horse rider, or if for somehow he can develop a board of 4 that I can use the MCT. No, that's not going to happen. MCT is not going to come into play until at least turn 7, I feel. Engineer. What are you doing with an engineer? Why is an engineer in your deck? Interesting. Is this some sort of a face shaman? Overload face shaman? What are you doing? You know what? I will Blade Flurry. And I will develop my Horse Rider. Blade Flurry dealing 4 damage to face and clearing 3 minions is pretty good. Is this some sort of face shaman? I wonder, like, you've got card draw, you've got Gnomish. I do wonder. Do I use the Drake or do I... No, I think I tank the damage. I tank the... Okay, now do I use... No, I don't. I want this to draw out a Lightning Storm. Now, if you're running a Face Shaman, I don't know... What's the likelihood of you having a Lightning Storm in your deck? I wonder. Let's see. Yeah. Face Shaman. Interesting. With double Leper and Totem Golem, I wonder. Lava Shock on a Buccaneer. That's exactly what I want to see. Exactly what I want to see. Do I just play a blank Shadow Pan? Yes, I do. I save the Azure for later. Like I've said before multiple times on the series, card draw, the later you can save the card draw, the better. The higher chance that you can drop the Drake and draw and play the card that the Drake draws. So it's the longer you wait, generally the better. Okay, so this is okay. Double Rockbiter, you're going to be hitting me for 16. Okay, and some sort of burn? No. Although I'm very low now. I'm going to need some sort of taunt. Let's see if we can find anything. I don't think we have anything at 4 drop. No. Well played. Interesting Face Shaman. I'll swing just for the XP. Yeah, there's no way we could have won there. No. Interesting. Like, taking 16 damage in one turn using as a result of Doomhammer Double Rockbiter. That's just something that's going to happen. So it's like an overload Face Shaman, Doomhammer Double Rockbiter equals 16 damage. And Doomhammer costs 5, Double Rockbiter costs 2, so it's a 7 mana combo that overloads for 2, I think. Yeah, interesting. See, that's the thing is, I could have won there if I had an Ooze. Now that's the question. The 3 decks, I faced a Pally, a Warrior, and a Shaman. All 3 weapon decks. Ooze would have helped a lot in the past 3 games. So I wonder, is it worth mixing in weapon destruction? I wonder. Let's do one more game, and I'll decide whether it is. Did I record a loss? I don't remember. Let's do one anyway. Let's do another, and let's just do one more game, and I'll decide. We'll do some deck changes after this. Okay, game 4 versus Shaman again. Now, should I save? No, I don't. I was thinking about saving the Eviscerate for the Totem Golem, but I don't think. Like, I'm a firm believer in, you know, how do you say? I think I coin weapon here. Because turn 2, I can play Auto Barber and deal with any 2-drop. Even if it's just the totem up, that's fine. Is this the same player? No. Previously it was Swagnowski. Interesting. So what was I going to say?
Put this apple on your head.
I don't remember what I was going to say. Silly me. Okay. This is fine. This is exactly why you coin weapon. If you have Auto Barber in hand, coin weapon up is not a bad play at all. Since your weapon, you know, they don't know that you can buff it up. And really, I'm going to save the backstab just in case there's a second. Knife Juggler, and I'm feeling there is. So this is a like aggro tempo shaman with jugglers and abusives. Yeah, it's going to be quite aggressive. Especially you're playing. Yeah, there's probably 2 copies of Ancestral, maybe something like Jeeves in there. Hard to say actually, but let's go. Let's push. I'm gonna hit this. And I think that I forgo the combo, but weapon up, giving me some flexibility. And I will swing, since my hand seems pretty low mana. And like I said before, second charge is way more important than the first charge. Yeah, so we may actually go the full video losing four games in a row. You know, and you might say, you know, that's pretty embarrassing. Yeah, maybe it is, but like, we win streaked to rank 13 with a 1.2k dust deck. I don't know how much else I can ask of this deck. You know? And yeah, this is fine. Actually, hit. Yeah, let's do that. I will buff the clockwork instead. I could have used the backstab there actually, but I think I'm still quite firmly in the camp that the backstab should be saved for a key 2-drop, such as a second knife juggler. Now, the reason why I did the hit means that I get to save. I have 2 taunts instead of 1. If I had taunt and run in, I have 1 taunt, but this play I take a little bit more damage up front, but I get 2 taunts, and I'm forcing out something like that, which is fine, absolutely fine. Okay, do I spend a backstab? I don't think so. Do I fan hit? Fan hit's not great. Fan hit's not great. I can backstab. Yeah, hit and develop a Crusader. Now, I don't think this sort of deck will be running anything like MCT. It's so aggressive that you wouldn't be running too many table flips. At least if I built this deck, I wouldn't expect any table flips. Maybe 1 Lightning Storm, but that's why I developed the Scarlet Crusader. It survives the Lightning Storm. Although our hand is looking a little worryingly small. Earthshock, okay, interesting. It's a good card to get through taunts. What's your next? Okay, Earthshock Lightning Bolt. So this is a little desperate because that's meant to be burned from my face, but instead you're using it here. Now the problem becomes again. Yep, let's develop. Ooh, and I will drop the MCT. Because it's very unlikely with 1 card in hand that he's going to be able to develop 4 minions on the board. This isn't time for an MCT. Yeah, so it's better to just drop the MCT if it doesn't look like your opponent's going to be able to develop anything here. And plus the MCT gets the challenge. Okay, so you can deal 10 damage to my face. Yeah, so we ran into 2 Doomhammer Double Rockbiter Shamans. I really think that these 4 games is really, like, it's signaling to me that I should be running an ooze. And I will send the Argus in and heal myself up and have a big Shadow Pan. Now that actually makes quite a big difference because it busts me out of Rockbiter because 1 Rockbiter, he's already used 1 Rockbiter, second Rockbiter only buffs him up to 10 damage. So yeah, I think that an ooze, like if I were to continue facing these sorts of decks, an ooze is basically mandatory. And I think I might actually put 1 in because we have been running, I haven't been tracking the stats of who we're facing, but we have been facing, I get the feeling, just the gut feeling that we're running into quite a few weapon classes. We're running into weapon classes. So I think I will put in some anti-weapon tech, and even if it's just 1 ooze can sometimes turn the game for you because, you know, if you don't get it at the start, you could mulligan into it and so on and so forth. Yeah, so we did win 1 game, so it wasn't a total disaster of a clip, but we have dropped down to rank 14. That's fine, you know, I'm not too concerned about that. Let's review our deck. So one thing I want to do is add weapon removal. So let's see what we have in terms of weapon removal. Destroy weapon. Okay, I can remove my own weapon. See, sabotage is something that I would put in. This is a key card. Like, I don't see it in many rogue lists. Well, I don't net deck, so I don't look at any lists. The only lists that I'm familiar with are from playing against them or seeing them in tournaments, and I see very few sabotage. Very few instances of sabotage, but I really like the card. I really like it because it's like a cheap, it's like a cheap assassinate, but if you combo it, it becomes huge value. But we can't run sabotage because remember, This is a no epics, legendaries, or adventure card run, so we're not running this. The only other option is, okay, we don't get Harrison. Is Ooze. Yeah, so we're gonna put in Ooze. I'm just gonna make that call. We're gonna put in an Ooze. What do I take out for the Ooze? Okay, so then I'm just gonna Ooze in. What comes out? What comes out for Ooze? It could possibly even be a Valiant that comes out for an Ooze. Yeah, let's take it. So the Valiant comes out for an Ooze. We lose a little bit of defensiveness against Hunter decks and things like that, but with the advent of Reno, I think an Ooze is higher value than a Valiant, if you can hit a weapon with the Ooze. So Valiant out. So it's a minus 40 dust cost, but that's not the full story. What else do we want? Other things that counter weapons are taunts. So I could possibly go for... no, I'm not seeing anything. Let's just look at our... let's just look at the things that we can craft. So look at the rares. Petitions is not bad. And SI7. I definitely do want 2 SI7. Petitions, what would I replace petitions with? Probably... Like, honestly, MCT is okay, but I don't get to use it that often. I might take the MCT out. Yeah, I might take the MCT out, actually. So I'm going to take an MCT out, and I'm going to craft an SI7. Yeah, let's do that. So MCT out, SI7 in. And, yep. SI7 in equals 0 dust change. They're both rare cards. What else are we looking at? So yeah, I remember mentioned Petitions is okay. I don't mind it, but this is not a super weapon focused deck. I could actually consider taking out a Deadly for a Petitions. This is nice for enabling combos though. Hard to say. Okay, let's look at the rares that we may pick up in the neutral minion stack. Anything that comes to mind, anything that I would want in my, like if I could have anything. Mystic is, no, there's not enough hunters running around for me to run a Mystic. Argent Commander actually is something that I would run. Argent Commander, what would I take out for Argent Commander? I could possibly take out the Sunwalker for Argent Commander, making this deck a little bit more aggressive. Or I could even take out the Shadow Pan for Argent Commander. And you know what? Quite often I find that I'm playing the Shadow Pan just as like a vanilla 3/7, and it's not too bad. But if I take the Shadow Pan out, it sort of slows me down a little bit. Let's try it. You know, we can always reverse the changes if we have to. So Shadow Pan out, Arcom in, and Shadow Pan is a common card, and we're going to put in an Argent Commander. I'm going to disenchant Wild Pyro for this. Oh, actually, maybe not. You know what? Let's open some packs. Yeah. Okay, so let me revert that change. I'm going to put the Shadow Pan back in for now, but let's see what rares that we may want. There isn't actually anything. I can't really think of anything anymore. I mean, you know, possibly SI7, another copy of SI7. Like I said, Argent Commander. Really, not really much else. And both of them are in classic packs, so I think we just go classic packs, honestly. Yeah, alright, let's just pick up a couple of classic packs. And you know, this also aids me in building a collection for building a collection for other budget runs. So you know, cards that I don't have to disenchant, I can disenchant them. And I mean, you know, if I pick up rares for other classes, I can consider doing a budget run for other classes. Yeah, see, another Lightning Storm. I think we've got like 3 copies of Lightning Storm now. You know what? This deck hasn't even picked up. This account hasn't picked up a legendary as of yet. I'm surprised actually, because we've opened a ton of packs and still no legendary. Okay, yeah, so nothing spectacular there. Just dust. Just giving me some access to some dust. I will disenchant, and that's plenty for our Argent Commander. Let's get rid of, let's attend to my OCD by mousing over these things so they don't be not gold anymore. Yeah, Earthshock's not bad actually, if we run a Budget Shaman. Cruel Task, not bad. Knife Juggler is actually really good for Budget Shaman also, so I think probably next, like in the future, I'll probably will be doing a Budget Shaman run. Okay, so Shadow Pan comes out for an Argent Commander. Although I could consider something, yeah. Any other 6 drops? No, basically Argent Commander, yep. Okay, so where is it? Yep. And so Shadow Pan is 40 dust, is a common. Argent Commander is a rare, so it's 60 dust up for me to switch that out. Okay, are we looking for anything else? I think we're okay for now. Like we've used up all of our resources, and made a couple of changes just to be more, you know, weapon class oriented, just to counter weapon classes a little bit more. Let's see how we go. We picked up the SI7, traded it out for the MCT, and I think SI7 definitely will have. There'll be more times within which I'll get some value from the SI7 as opposed to MCT, which is, you know, sometimes they develop boom and you manage to MCT their boom. Then that's like, you know, on a 1 in 4 chance, and sometimes they don't even develop 4 minions because sometimes people do play around MCT. Okay, so these are the changes. I will actually disappear into the YouTube vortex once again, lengthening this video, unfortunately. But yeah, I won't do the changes now, so be right back. Okay, and I am back, and I think the changes are correct, but please let me know in the comments or on Twitter if I've made any mistakes, you know. Nobody's perfect, and it looks like, yep. So we took out, so just to reiterate, we took out a Valiant for an Ooze, taking our dust cost down by 40. Took out an MCT for an SI7, both rare cards, so no dust change. And then took out a Shadow Pan for an Argent Commander, like down here. And that was 60 dust cost up, since the Shadow Pan is 40. Okay, so looking pretty good there. And I'll put a warning in the description of the video, you know, just letting people, some people may not be interested in the crafting and the logic behind my changes to these decks. But I'm excited to see how this deck is going to go in the next couple of days, you know, how the changes will pan out, and how we'll go, you know, whether we run into some more weapon classes. That'll be interesting too. Okay, so let's wrap up there. I'd like to thank you guys once again for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Do this for the love, so any gestures of appreciation mean a lot. And again, wish you guys have a wonderful day and a good Christmas period. You know, take it easy. It's the holidays, but it's also quite stressful. I'm finding it to be quite stressful. But, you know, it's all in the name of having a good time and you know, spending time with the people that you care about. So let's focus on that and do what we can. Okay, so thanks for that, and I'll see you guys next time. No Dust signing off. See you next time.